Start with what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. So when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president, we have constituted a committee, everything has been done. And VK Paul was supportive, he was agreed in partner. But during the inaugural session, with I was sitting in what Professor Verma said, VK Paul. Started, so when I was the president. So unless you are involved, you can be able to see that one. You are fully involved. You cannot do that kind of advice. Then third one is technical analysis. We are having, that is our main component. And people should be, change the times, you have to improve yourself. That is going to be that I give to the audience. Last one is, what is our strength? What is our strength? We are having, so only a statistics person can be able to provide what you call increase the efficiency of the trial by using minimum number of patients to get maximum information. That is our strength. Only we can able to do it. That means sample size calculation, other things you should be very careful. People should know. You better study it. But for a particular problem and medical doctor is telling, you should know this is the proper design, this is the way you can able to do it, then definitely will be appreciated. You will get respect more than you need. Okay? So that then that is the first thing. Second one we're having is what are the groups we're having? General health, Now he said only for not only medical. What are the groups of people who are working? Normally we divide in 3 groups. One is the health sector, where we are having national surveys and epidemiology surveys, where what is the thing needed? The person should be good in design, good in sample size calculation, and not highest level statistical methods. No, most of them promotional or some design effects of the calculus sample. For person going for, they should be trained on that one. Next group, the medical group, or most of them. We say that no, what are the important things? So we are going to have the clinical trials, for example, hardcore, high level, this one. So how to do it? So how to calculate everything? You start training, different training for that one. The last one is, which is one of the neglected area, but current area, molecular computing. When you are having these kind of things, how to make the computing in the molecular level, not the individual level, how to determine sample size. So these are the core areas. Depending on the field, we are going to have 1 minute or 1 minute is there over. Oh, yeah, I started just now, yeah. You're back fixing with your this one, I think. Okay, fine. So the other thing is, I think the training of, biostatistics is very important. We have to make this one. Unless you make improvement in this one, any number of recommendations are not going to. Ultimately, you have to convince them. You have to convince them. Of course, apart from the other way convincing, a lot of people are here who are politically connected. Why can't you talk to them, give some pressure to some ministers to get it? Most of the things instead of them. So with this, I think I close my tongue. Thanks for Professor. I will vocal. I'll be criticizing. So this is one. So the only thing is, no, I'm not finding fault with anybody. We have to improve our side. And then we are talking about biostatistics. You see, first of all, you have to see whether all the people working in medical college biostatisticians. There are other category people are appointed at biostatistics. You are unable to prevent it. You prevent that one first. Other things. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Venkatesan, for giving a very good suggestions and certain critiques. We will keep in mind while revising our document. Now I request Dr. Dwivedi to come and
we have. Thank you, Dr. Verma. Actually, my task is very simple. Reason is that the same topic, my friend Dr. Nair is also going to speak. The point is, my topic to speak here is current status of biostatistics teaching and consultancy in health, research productivity in medical colleges. Everybody knows it. Those institutions like AIIMS, PGI, SGPGI, JIPMER and all, including CMC Vellore, where we have got good, what you call it, the capacity in terms of the biostatistics faculty, their hard devotion, their concentration in working, attitude to work in group, no problem at all. I don't see anywhere there is a problem. There is a good quality research. I think Dr. Padam Singh has been in many of our doctoral committee. He knows very well how long we are enjoying. AIIMS, just to encourage youngsters, that kind of setup we can expect across the country. And my friend Dr. Venkatesan has raised very pertinent issues. Just to add that, at least I don't agree with the concept that the first you create the quality personnel and then establish the setup. I'm the other way. We need to. No, I'm coming. I'm coming on that. We need to create the structure. We need to convince the people that why do we require to be a part of the team. It doesn't matter to begin with, like the newer AIIMS, one faculty is even being given, but we know it. Every AIIMS has got separate biostatistics department. But remember, once we have got our place, we recruit the people. Those people can be trained. There are sources, national, international, they can be sent, they can be trained. And believe me, we were not taught anything which we have been using in AIIMS. Everything we have learned out of our studies, our efforts, including survival analysis. We never heard the name in our PG program and PhD program. So once you are giving the responsibility to any youngster, my gut says they will rise to the occasion, they will establish themselves, they will train themselves, and they will come out. So that is one strata that the AIIMS like institution have got very good, best setup, best faculty, trained faculty. They have been trained from one place or the other place, and they are doing. Consultancy part, I am very much convinced that these days our job is very simple. Everybody across the country, regardless of which discipline, it might be community medicine, it might be molecular biology, everybody knows it that without biostatistics, we cannot step even a single step. If you really want to produce the good quality evidence, good quality, reliable evidence on which our public health programs can rely. So those issues we have to, I think we all, including youngsters, have to keep propagating. This is what my belief says, that the begging is not going to help. Believe me, begging never helps. First, we should be what we are, try to be what they need, as correctly told by Dr. Venkateshan. And then this is how system runs. But we have to keep trying hard to get establishment. Because all medical colleges, with all due regards, I think people should not feel offended if those who are from there, very bad situation. And I will not blame only one side. Like many of younger biostatisticians say, I am being treated as a single tabulator. As a single tabulator, every month I need to report, only prepare the PPA data and then send it to forward to the district hospital and likewise. It is both way problem. As a younger faculty, we need to learn how to work with our clinical colleagues. Means how to get accommodated, how to walk shoulder to shoulder. Only unhappiness is not going to solve the problem. Always remember, if you generate the friendly relationship wherever we are, we can get best establishment. This is what I believe. And always we can contribute. And once we contribute, or at least we demonstrate our attitude and interest to contribute, they will come forward to help us, to accommodate us, to get us the better place, what we need. And I think that approach will help. So consultancy job, everybody knows it, that everybody wants biostatistics consultancy. Anywhere we go, across the state level institutions or countries, so situation is very easy for us. Only thing is, we need to convince the authorities. And just to put a word, the approach has to be in a very pro. They should not feel offended that I am forcing, that by force we will take it. No, it is not going to help. Force is not going to help. Only thing is we have to keep trying. I think I really admire the efforts made so far. I was not fully aware about all the steps. It's a humble, I think steps have been made, but we have to keep continuing. But regarding the friendship, there are many types of friendship. Friendships are superficial also. Friendship are, if I say something like even today, if I request my any colleague from AIIMS, I have never heard no. Even today, I am from Ujjain, and I'm feel proud of to tell you that even from Ujjain, I am telephoning and people are honoring. So that kind of relationship we have to develop. It is both ways. It is not that it is one-sided demand, and we should keep habit of working in group. No bossism. I think we don't belong to that group. We have to understand that if we have attitude to walk together and work together, things will fall. I think today or tomorrow, because as I told you, everybody knows it, that this discipline is very important. Without this, no epidemiology. Without this, no clinical epidemiology. Without this, no molecular biology. I think we have to understand. So I will stop here. I think, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dwivedi, for very nice suggestions. Your suggestions are very good, very fruitful, and we will keep in mind while revising our papers. Now, the next panelist is Professor N. Sri Kumar Nair, and I would request him to come and put your views.
Yes, good evening. And yes, it is an important session. And first of all, my compliment, because after that, what I am talking, it may not be a compliment. To Professor Verma, I think I know that how much effort he put in those documents, submitting, resubmitting, and traveling to Delhi. So we have to acknowledge the effort that this age he has done. He traveled all the way to Delhi, met people, and in fact, I remember there are instances where he traveled to Delhi, but the people very next to Dr. Paul's office were not cooperating to walk with him to his office. Okay, this is what biostatistics we have. The person who is Jansi, he is all the way trained traveling to there, and top official biostatistics people sitting next to Paul's office, was not able to walk with him to office. He rang me up. So, Sri Kumar, no, it is that nobody is ready to come with me. Okay, so that I compliment, sir. It's the effort you put, and that effort materialized something. I don't know because of that or not, but I remember NMC changed the position. First, brought it down to the statistician come lecturer, tutor, and then quickly they moved back. No. Then they moved back. Now again it's the same situation. No, but then few days it's again moved back. There is one. Then again it's gone back. So some effort it's done, and thank you very much for that. Okay. Now I will be talking more. I will be joining with my friend Professor Venkateshan, because next to him I was sitting also when Dr. Paul asked. I will little correct you because that is a striking statement he made. Yes, he said, yes, I am ready to sanction. Do you have supply? This is the question he asked. Do you have good quality supply? If today, see, he's a person, a different caliber, different level. He said these many medical colleges are there and I am ready to create posts today. And please mind how many posts are going to get created. Do you have good supply for that? And I don't, now it's 3-4 years over. I don't think we haven't thought about addressing that issue. Forget about address that issue. We never thought about addressing that issue. If we thought about it, we would have been sitting back and few young people will be sitting here as the panelist. That is the way I look at it. But we haven't thought, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm blaming myself. Exactly, I'm joining Professor Venkateshan. Yes. In fact, I remember it's, I think Epigore, he said, in a medical institute, he incidentally said, community medicine or PSM department, it is not that much a celebrated one. Same way, biostatistics, I don't think it's a celebrated one. Or anytime it will become celebrated unless we spend our energy for that. And how to do that, we have to look at it. Why we, this is a question I ask, and many times people ask, faculty researchers asked to me, why should we need a statistician? Because statistician is talking nonsense, and I know better than what he or she is talking. Then it is better I do myself than that if I am learning wrong from it. This is, I am not telling in a medical college alone, I am telling even national level institute, because I have to talk about AIIMS institute. Okay, AIIMS. I am not telling I'm a great statistician, but this is what people said. Unless we as a society, because here one side of the coin we are sitting, we are all ourselves. So we are ourselves praise and we ourselves talk about ourselves, cry, and evening we go for the banquet. But really hard. In fact, there is an attempt. It's a good or bad, I don't know. But Jay Sheelan, it's 1 year back, I think a training, he said he's ready to spend money and a training program, totally free, but it's online. It's I don't think it's many of our, Dr. Binu knows it's how many people enrolled for that program. It's so unless, this is what my belief. Now I come to what I believe. We have to influence the institute because they are not thinking that it's we are their pet boys or girls. So we have to influence them. Whoever it's which, if I am in Jibbar, I have to make a mechanism to influence them. If I cannot influence my head director, it's okay. Bottom up approach I have to start. I should influence my own my contemporary faculty, my students. My students means not biostatistics. I should be capable of walking across other departments and influencing them. And then the news goes up, and there is a possibility. And I don't believe the status of biostatistics is very bad in the country. No. For example, I was talking, all of a sudden I saw that St. John's, it's started its biostatistics. It's in India now, there are many pockets, clusters of biostatistics, good programs, but they are all getting absorbed in industry. It's a very good way things are happening. New generation of biostatistician finding job. Okay, but old generation finding it difficult. that is what it's, even their survival is getting into problem. Okay, so I think it's even in the senior level, not only there, all level, we have to think ourselves how we can influence others, not in terms of, telling hello, bye, all those things, contributing to their research development, as Dr. Venkatesan said. That's it. I mean, they should feel, yes, even if this person is my enemy, I should consult this person because it's worth to consult this person to get my research. Then definitely, I think, I'm not telling it's totally all of a sudden you can change the situation, it will change. Because there is another difficulty, that's a place I stop. The government sector, if you look at it, the now situation is not as creating an additional post. I think it's a administrator sitting here, I don't think it is an easy job. Creating the financial thing, it's very well looked at. Creating additional post, it takes a lot of time, lot of effort and things. Okay, but the private sector, I find it's really, for example, I think it's this institute itself. It's 20 years, 15 years back I came. It's only one biostatistics person in the department. Now there are many. And different departments, let's say. And this is the story of many institutions across the country. And there are places, that is another thing, that's a place. Wherever we go for the recruitment, doing it, good quality, we are not getting it. Good quality, I mean, it is so difficult to finally, someone else with some difficulty, we have to apply. And with the last point, I stop here. I borrow the word here with Dr. Venkatesan said bias. Okay. It is bit sorry that in the sense it's bias, not in the research, not in the data analysis I am telling. In terms of, and I internalized a bias. I am not looking at quality. I don't mind compromising quality for having my own something into place. And that is the one damaged. If you think that it's an all national level institute, it's a very good picture. It is biostatistics. I don't believe in that. I don't know others. It's whoever is come from national level institute, they can stone me. But I don't, tell me one national level institute, biostatistics picture is really appreciated well, it is going on well. I don't believe in it. And unless somebody come with the data to show, tell me that as a statistician, I cannot accept that. That is, I think, hopefully I stop here.
Thank you very much, Professor Sri Kumar Nair, for putting certain very important suggestions, and we will consider them. The next, our panelist is Dr. Ajit Sahai. You are requested to come over here and put your views.
Very good afternoon. And I think Professor Verma has organized in a systematic fashion what should be first, then second, third. So that systematic order is very reasonable. Now, before I come to the point or the topic allotted to me, I will just deviate a couple of minutes. Professor Verma has talked 1986 and then he jumped to 1916, 30 years gap. So just for the information that we have not been sleeping, we have been doing something. And I'm deliberately telling with some purpose. We had brought some other person, some other leader. Sundaram was there, he was doing. Then somewhere, I think Indrayan were there. Problem was, when I was president 15 years back, we made a committee for this training. Then Sundaram was again brought, I think. We have been preparing syllabus, either we were worried or what should be the structure and big these drafts we have been preparing. Because my responsibility is also what is I have to dedicate is that is immaterial in this administration. Dr. Padam Singh is sitting here. Administrative people, IAS and even Vinod Paul, when you go and sit there, or when Padam Singh was sitting as additional DG, how busy they are. So we feel that we are, no, this should be there, this topic should not be for BDS, it should be this, for dentistry or for pharmacy, it should be this, nursing, it should be this, medical, it should be this. We have prepared, we have spent a lot of energy. But coming to the point, if literally what we are going to do, what we have to submit. So in this 30 years also, we have been making efforts, but we got some wisdom that no, we should change. And that is how when Professor Verma has taken over, I think 2018 in Bangalore, we had AIIMSs, we had a satellite meeting. Professor CM Pandey was president that time. And then this committee and all that we have formulated. And then we started working in a different fashion. And that was effective, that is effective. Still we feel that no, that work was also not very well justified. Still there is need to modify it. And coming to the liaison, which was next, and this Vishnu Vardhan has already spoken because sitting in Delhi, that is the most important thing. Look backward, whether till date, any of our colleagues, senior colleague has received Padam Shri, Padam Bhushan. Only C.R. Rao has received Padam Bhushan, Padam Vibhushan. And then he was thinking of Bharat Ratna. Huh? Sukhatme also received. So this lot, sir is sitting here. I have been looking every time that some of our colleagues should also. That is the marker, indicator, index, whatever you call, that where we are when it comes to recognition. So some of our leading personality, if recognized, that is the language of government. To see our face in mirror, that is the indicator that yes, we are capable. Now I am touching other point. As Vinod Paul sir has mentioned, I also had made some effort when I was in Jipmer. I was very close to ministry. I was Government of India. So then some secretary, joint secretary, I think he was responsible for all the AIIMS. I asked him, sir, do such favor, some favor to us also. 6 AIIMS were coming that time. Professor Dwivedi told that all AIIMS have a separate department. No, there is no faculty also in some 6 AIIMS. And now 26 AIIMS are coming up. So there also the problem is capacity building. We have not tried to modify our this thing, and there are many problems. So capacity building is very much needed. That was the question by Vinod Paul. That today I create so many positions. Where are the persons? And those persons, what Venkatesan was saying, capable persons. They know how to talk to medical colleagues, or they know only to fight with medical colleagues. So that is important. Why I am raising this? I talked to some of my PSM colleagues who was at the helm of affair. Who is the responsible person to downgrade it to tutor? And when I asked why you have done that, no, your colleague, he has some problem with one of my statistics colleague. Then I told, one problem, you can't generalize it. A case study, as we say, we are a statistics person, don't paint entire country or all biostatistician like. But then other problem was, which has been raised by some of my colleagues, that in many private institutions, if they are not having faculty, there is a post of assistant professor, they are derecognized. MCI will derecognize that as per the norms, you are not having. So they want that I should get something good, bad. So they were also in favor of downgrade it. Money is also less I have to pay, plus naam ke vaste, at least someone will be there. So that was another reason. Now coming back to the main theme, as I started, unless we be very crisp, one page with some influence, that can be respected. And we think that we are preparing big draft and where should be the course content and all that. We have done, some of our colleagues have done. For each discipline, we have prepared the course content and how many rooms should be there, how many, as MCI recommends, NMC recommends, this should be the space, this should be the manpower. Who is going to listen first? At least people should start respecting. For that purpose, unless we have a very crisp report, even out of this exercise, if we can deliver a very crisp report to the point with a small background, but ultimately what we want, not how many rooms, how many faculty, but gist should come that at least in all these AIIMS, because two approaches have to be, AIIMS is being governed by ministry and that is by NMC. So we have to prepare for AIIMS. Now 26 AIIMS are coming. They should be having the potential to, this capacity building should be allotted to them. In addition, some other institutions are there. They are doing that already. And in contrast, my colleague is sitting there, Dwivedi, good infrastructure. I know the history, how Professor Ramchandran in 30, 40 years struggle got the department. But still capacity building, PhD is there, MSc is not there. Similarly, PGI Chandigarh, MSc is not there. So MSc is the basic thing in biostatistics now we talk. Otherwise, we are talking, just now Professor Dwivedi was talking, I didn't know all these things. We have learned ourselves. Now the thing is, capacity building is very important. Before we demand, we should be ready. Yeah, you want, I am having so many PhDs working here and there, or I am having so many MScs. So AIIMS should be designated for capacity building at least. To my thinking, all these coming AIIMS, at least older AIIMS, this 6 plus maybe another 6, 12 AIIMS, including this AIIM, where Professor Dwivedi is there, who was there. These institutions should be allotted capacity building. They should have full-fledged department, our recommendation. And all these medical colleges, private or government, 600 medical colleges now. So, okay, whether we recommend manpower unit plus what should be done, who should do, but make it a point, if we are not having something in our pocket or we are not having manpower, that was the main key question for any administration. Okay, I give you so many posts, but so they will be derecognized. So that problem we have to keep in mind. Or as Dr. Paul himself has suggested, staggered way, you say phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, what I can do. So that is my advice, recommendation. The first thing, report should be very crisp. AIIMS, what should be? I feel AIIMS should be designated. If somewhere medical colleges have capacity building here itself, capacity building is there, PhD program is running in Karak, that is fine. But even MSc someone can run, that is fine. But AIIMS, government side, should take the lead to establish department and they should be utilized for capacity building in addition to whatever is. And all other places, at least something we should talk, that language should be, which can be implemented. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Ji Sahai. Your suggestions are very specific and we will definitely consider in our revised recommendations. Now, our last but a very important panelist. I'm saying very important because I have been talking from time to time about this problem and making draft together and all that, is Professor C.M. Pandey, I would request him to come on the dais and put up his views.
Good afternoon, friends. I think being the last speaker of this panel, I'm very comfortable that my friends have made my task very easy because I'm coming at the last and I have heard most of the voices that has been raised by my friends, the experiences and all those things. But one thing is different from my friends and me, that I never regretted that I am a biostatistician and I work in a medical institute. And I think throughout my career enhancement, Dr. Padam Singh is here and he has been part of our selection committee at various occasions and he knows that what is the value of biostatistics at SGPGI. And I tell you my own experience, I started as a single person at SGPGI and developed the full-fledged department, and I see that for every development there is some effort required, administrative things are required, but I never found that SGPGI was against biostatistics. The complete medical fraternity, administration, policymakers, they were all supporting. And the one positive point was that when we started teaching biostatistics to our postgraduates, when I was assistant professor and a single person in the institute, it was an optional course like these days it is running as a research methodology course. And after the running up course for a few iterations, they found that this is very useful and a lot of people started joining that. I would like to join, I would like to join. And I tell you that I had to make batches of these students. I said, no, I cannot enroll more than 30 students in one batch because I maintain quality. I was not happy that there are 200 students and you join and just I will deliver whatever I know. I said that I will take only 20 to 30. I will train you properly and then I will take next batch and next batch and next batch, so that when you go out of this training, at least you should have some experience and some knowledge that yes, I can practice biostatistics in my research. So that was my mission, that I always cared for quality. And after a certain period of time, they made this course as a compulsory part of their DM and MCH program. And that was the first, I think, evidence in this country that biostatistics was an integral part as a compulsory paper in DM and MCH program in this country. So it's not very difficult, but you have to, what others have said, that you have to demonstrate that biostatistics is important. Secondly, in almost all programs related to computing, related to data analysis, related to policy formation, biostatistics department was one of the key departments of the institute throughout my career. I enjoyed there at all stages. Secondly, I think I was fortunate to have all administrative positions except director of the institute. And I had the experience of the other side, that how the institute functions and how you handle the departments, your faculty, your students. And at various occasions, I was having liberty because the biostatistics was compulsory and every student was supposed to take that course. And I was named as he is a universal teacher. When there was any unrest or dissatisfaction among the students of my institute, people from other faculty used to say that now you come and intervene because you know all these students. We have acquaintance with my own department, only cardiology residents are known to me or only neurology residents are, but you have universal access. So your impact will be much more than any other faculty on the students. So that is how I suggest those who are in biostatistics working in any institution, you should work in that particular direction so that you have impact on the entire research effort and activities of the institute as a good teacher and as an effective consultant. There's a paramount. Once you demonstrate, I think 50% of your problems will be solved. Most of us, when placed in medical institutes, we try to differentiate between medical and non-medical, something like that. But I never had a feeling, and my medical colleagues never had a feeling that biostatistics is anyway inferior than a super specialist in cardiology or renal transplant program. They still, wherever they are, the people, the students of my faculty, they may be experts, means now they are doing robotic surgery at US and other places, but whenever they call, they meet like in the same respect and in the same position. So during all this journey of biostatistics and its position in medical institutions, Dr. Verma has mentioned my name at various occasions, and I was also really concerned and thinking that what strategy can work in administration or in government to recognize this thing. One point that we missed here, when this NMC was being formed, there was a parliamentary committee, if you recall. And before the formation, objections and suggestions were invited by the parliament. And at that time, as president of AIIMS, we had a representation to parliamentary committee also, that in formation of this particular board, you have all kind of specialists, people from surgery, people from medicine, people from lab sciences and all those things. And if biostatistics is also a part, why don't you induct a person from biostatistics in NMC as an expert? But that particular representation might have been sent to the concerned persons, and that has gone where I do not know. So later on, one of the chief secretaries from UP became the Secretary General of a parliament and was known to me. And I happened to meet him, and then I asked this question that we had this kind of representation in parliament, and now you are Secretary General, can you trace that and see whether it can be reactivated? But he didn't find that paper. So that's how we are making all the efforts at all levels. But I think the charity begins at home, and we believe in our strength, and we should believe in our capacity. If we improve ourselves and we prove that we are useful for the others without any discrimination, that is the only point which is going to help. That we should not feel that we are inferior. We should say that we are important. And in some of the discussions, even at our institute, I sometimes said publicly in our academic board and at other places that you see, medicine cannot survive without biostatistics, but biostatistics has survived without medicine. Remember it. So that kind of confidence you should have, that if there is no medicine, no problem, statistics is developed and it is functioning as a specialty. But if you take biostatistics